Coming up on Magical Medical Tour with my co-host, Dr. Glenn Woolman, Inside the Doctor's Bag, Spirituality and Balance. How can spirituality affect our health? What do you believe is spirituality? Why would we consider this to be a part of the 6 aspects of optimal health? This and more coming up next here on YHTV. This week's episode is brought to you by Support the Mountains Herbal Parasite Cleanse. This formula targets the small and large intestinal tracts and larvae, the most broad-spectrum formula available today. 100% organic, formulated by Dr. Mikio Sankey, author of the Esoteric Acupuncture series. For 10% off your first bottle, visit shopyogahub.com and use the coupon code CLEANSE at checkout. Hello and welcome to YHTV's Magical Medical Tour. I'm Christina Suzuma, your co-host for this program. And today we are continuing to delve into the doctor's bag for Dr. Glenn Woolman's 6 aspects of optimal health. And today's topic is spirituality. I bet you didn't think that that would be one of them. And here with us is our Dr. Glenn Woolman. What's up, Doc?
Oh, greetings, everyone, and welcome to Magical Medical Tour. We're going inside the doctor's bag again today for another aliquot of optimal health. And as Christina said, spirituality is one of them. And you're right. A lot of people don't think of that. Most people think about nutrition, exercise. Maybe people are starting to think more about sleep and stress. But spirituality for me is one of them. And I came across that in terms of the way I dealt with people in the emergency department all the time. People that were more spiritual did better, no matter what the situation was. So spirituality became an important aspect of optimal health for me. And what spirituality is not necessarily is a religious practice, although a religious practice can be part of spirituality. But spirituality for me has 3 parts to it. One is the awareness, the second is the manifestation, and the third is the practice. So what do I mean by that? The awareness, that basically is how each of us connects to the universe, how we see ourselves in the universe, how the universe is connected to us. Are we connected to nature, other animals, other people? That's the first part of it for me. And in speaking about that, Christina, I have a little meditation for you to do right now.
Oh,
mind?
Oh, absolutely not.
Now, this is something that you can do quickly in 5 seconds, which I know we'll be able to do now. But then you could also spend a long time in a meditation on it, and it's a fun practice. So I want you to close your eyes for a second, and I want you just to imagine the universe, the entire universe in its full expanse, as far as you can think out or envision out. And when you have that picture, then see yourself in that universe. And that's the key. Picture yourself within that universe. You got that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I want you to change, and I want you to picture yourself, your entire being. Picture everything that you are, physically, mentally, spiritually, all of that. And then I want you, after you get that, I want you to picture the universe inside of you. And that's a fun practice to do that. Were you able to connect to that quickly? I'm sure you are, because you meditate a lot.
Oh, yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, it's easy. Picture the universe, then yourself within it, and then picture yourself and the universe within you. A nice little tidbit of something to do, while you're driving or,
just
doing
don't close your
heart
eyes.
surgery.
Just don't close your eyes while you're driving, please.
Right. So that's the first part. How are you connected, or are you not connected? Are you solipsistic? Does the whole universe rotate around you, or do you focus within the universe? The second part is the how it manifests itself, and this is the important part for me, and this really describes what spirituality is for me. It's about gratitude, exhibiting compassion, empathy, happiness, sincerity, gratefulness. All of these components make up spirituality for me. So if that's your day and that's the type of person you are, then to me you're spiritual.
That's nice.
You could look at some of the others in the Judeo-Christian. It's do unto others is part of it. All of this. It's have compassion for people and have gratitude for things. So that's the second part. And the third part of it for me is an actual practice. You can't just say that you're spiritual. You have to have some kind of a daily practice, be it a meditation where you might do that little visualization of the universe and you and the universe. Some people on our show that we've interviewed have a practice where every morning they wake up and list a few things that they're grateful for, or they talk about how they want to have a specific type of day, or at night they talk about what did I have gratitude for today, or what my accomplishments were today. So you need to have some kind of a daily practice for your spirituality.
Nice.
What's yours, Christina?
What's mine? Usually it's meditation. But it's not just at the end of the day, it's during the day.
Yeah.
During the day, the morning, yes. It's and especially at moments where things might get heightened in the day, where they're aggravating or heightened in those not so productive ways. I think that's when the meditation comes in deep. And also, I believe that, I was raised Catholic. So, there is that component of prayer that is very interesting. I think I say that was my building blocks to where I am in spirituality, because it's prayer. I would say to people, why do we keep saying the same prayer over and over and over and over again? When I was young, right? And I realized as I got older, well, it's basically like chanting. It's like the East Indian, some of the Buddhist groups, it's chanting, and they all might chant together, right? And they know it inside out and backwards. And you go into this sort of state of being where you don't even think of the words you're chanting anymore, but it's that rhythm that starts to come in. And I always say that was my stepping stone to meditation and deep meditation. So it's lovely. It's lovely. So yes, to wrap up the day, to begin the day with meditation is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, no, I think so. And there's a lot of things that you talked about. We've talked about this in some of our other programs where we know that when you're exhaling, we talk about the 4 square breath and the part where you exhale and the part where you hold the exhale. Those are the places where people go into deeper meditative states. And throughout history and different cultures, everybody sings, everybody chants, everybody prays. That's a form of exhaling.
Yes.
And so it allows, while you're doing that, not only all the things that you said, but to be in a group of people of like-mindedness, so you're connecting to each other. You're also causing vibrations inside your body because of the words, in Hindu and Buddhist, where they're saying things like Om, and it's causing vibrations, which set up frequencies, which change brainwave patterns. All of these things, they're very important. And that's great. And each of the religions, when we talk about spirituality, they have different things to teach us. But when you get really down to the core, they're all saying somewhat the same thing. Even in the Lord's Prayer, give us this day our daily bread. It would have been easy for that prayer to say, give us a year's abundance of bread. But no, instead, give us, it's about today, be in the present, be now. Today is what we're involved in. And we could talk about being in the present. That has a whole set of circumstances that can be addressed and have been addressed by us at many
Mhm.
times. But
Mhm.
it's really important. One of the things that I do want to say is, and I alluded to this at the beginning of the program today, is when I would see people in the emergency department, and I'm talking about not just somebody with a sore throat or somebody with a bad fracture somewhere, but people that were dying. And it became obvious that they were dying and that they were never leaving the emergency department. And it was going to happen within minutes or an hour or so. The ones that had a spiritual practice in their lives, and it was a cemented spiritual practice, those people,
What does that mean? A cemented spiritual practice?
in other words, they've had a daily routine where it's been something that sets up neurotransmitters, that has the connections to the mind. It's just like if you practice a breathing technique, the second you start the Wallman metaphor square breath, after you've done it many times, it already starts transforming your body.
Mm-hmm.
So if the people that came into the emergency department that never had a spiritual practice, and in that moment were searching for one, which is I guess at any point, sometimes it does help, at least near the end. But the ones that already had the practice, that could go into that state and can pull up all of the things that have been manifested in their body and mind and spirit for many years of their life, they were calm, they were relaxed, they were sometimes even happy. You could see serenity. I guess that's a better word. Whereas the people that had no practice, or the people that were trying to desperately find one in those minutes, and sometimes it was possible, but sometimes more often it was not possible, then it wasn't serene. It was very tense and intense and angst producing. So for all of these reasons, and especially since at this moment in time, we know that life is a terminal illness. So at some point, you're going to be at that point. Why not prepare for it a little bit? We prepare for so many other things. The spiritual practice of your life is an important one, and it affects all of the others. When you eat with a spiritual attitude, when you exercise with a spiritual attitude, it helps to decrease stress. All of these things are important. They're all balanced together. The 6 aspects of optimal health that I talk about, can't have one without the other. You need to practice all of them. And certainly spirituality encompasses all of these.
Nice. Very nice. I agree.
Yeah.
I think it's very, as you say, it is one of the staples. It is one of the staples of balance, because it just helps us be present, even if it's, as you say, for that 5 seconds or 1 minute, just to be present with our breath, Glenn. It's really amazing what it can do, but it's the awareness that we have to bring ourselves to be aware to do that.
Yeah, I agree with you. And again, if we think about all of these 6 aspects, they're all a form of medication. So if you're willing to take an antibiotic 4 times a day for 2 weeks, with all the potential side effects, or you're willing to take a blood pressure medication or a diabetes medication, these aspects are things that if you look at them as part of a health plan and take them as a medication, you'll be a lot better off. So if I said, okay, spirituality 4 times a day, can you do that? Most people don't react to that in the same way. They're focused in our world on taking the antibiotic or taking something else. But meditation, I don't have time for that.
Well,
anyway,
we could always give them a placebo, that every time you take this tablet and put it under your tongue, you need to be still for 1 minute.
I like that.
That's a good
start. Yeah, it is a good start. Now, actually, one of the things that I do is I have a spiritual practice around taking medications and vitamins and supplements. If I'm taking a medication, I spend a moment thinking about, I'm happy that the doctor found my diagnosis. I'm happy that the laboratory did the right test to confirm it. I'm happy that the pharmaceutical company and the research scientists put it out. I'm happy that the marketplace puts it out there and provides it for me, and I want it to do the work that it's supposed to with the least side effects. So I have a little spiritual practice around every time I take a medication.
That's nice. I like that. I like that. I
Yeah.
think I do believe we should start this placebo though.
There you go. Well, thanks everybody. This was another aliquot of optimal health inside the doctor's bag. I look forward to being with you and Christina as we either search the doctor's bag or go to Magical Medical Tour for one of our bigger topics. Thank you, Christina, and thank you all.
Great. Thank you so much, Dr. Glenn Woolman. It's always great to have you with us and also learn about all the wonderful points of knowledge that you share with us each time. Those morsels. I love those morsels.
Can I interrupt you?
Yeah. Interrupt me.
Yeah, why not? I just remembered something, and we've talked about this before, and I think it fits in now, and it'd be a great ending to this. It's just a little saying to think about. If you're having trouble finding something to be grateful for, check your pulse.
Yeah. Yes. That is one of my favorites.
I know. Mine too.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Dr. Glenn Woolman, and to all of you who are joining us here today. We would love your feedback. We would love to hear from you. If you are watching us through your website, you can scroll down and make your comments in the comment box, or you can give us a call at 818-LETS-TALK. We would love to hear from you. We would love it if you would share what you've learned today with others. If you're watching this through YouTube or iTunes, if you just click that like button, and the more people we have, the more subscribers we have, and it's all free to share and free to subscribe to. It really helps us expand our reach, because it's all very technical on the back end, and what happens in Google and everything, and we don't expect you to need to understand all of that, but it really helps us in what we're doing to reach a greater and larger audience and to build our community. Please, if you would like to reach out to us or Dr. Glenn Woolman, you can reach him on his website, glennwoolman.com. And he is a magnificent medical guide. He will definitely help you through these times, these present times of the medical industry and the directions that it is going. And he really helps bring a lot of wisdom and care and nurturing to his clients, as through the show he has gained quite a few clients, you can imagine. And you can also follow him on Facebook at The Medical Guide. So until next time, we hope that and wish for you all optimal health, as Dr. Glenn Woolman will say, and look forward to being with you again. Thank you for joining us. Namaste.